Hello, lighting people. We have news of another lighting industry acquisition. LMPG, the company formerly known as Lumenpulse Group, has acquired leading California-based architectural brand Vode Lighting. The Vode acquisition marks the fourth lighting company that LMPG has acquired in just the last 2 years. Concurrent with this announcement is news that three Vode founders, Tom Wharton, Scott Yu, and George Mieling, will remain with Vode in various strategic executive roles, and they will support a newly hired CEO who will lead Vode moving forward. That new CEO? Ann Schiffers, who joins the company with a very strong architectural lighting pedigree. Lots to talk about here, so we are pleased to be joined by the founder, president, and CEO of LMPG, FX Souvay. FX, congratulations on all this news. How is the mood at LMPG today?
It's pretty exciting, actually. I'm connecting to the LMPG folks no matter where they are around the world, but I'm here in beautiful Sonoma, California, to really celebrate this in person with the fantastic Vode team. So everybody's super pumped, excited about, welcoming Vode and its 100 talented people and partners. And so it's an exciting time, in the evolution of LMPG.
Well, FX, LMPG has made a lot of news over the last couple of years. This one's really going to resonate with all these well-known people and you coming together, and this is going to make a lot of noise and a lot of happy people in architectural lighting circles. Let's start with the basic question. Why did you buy Vode?
So I've been really an admirer of Vode for several years. The first time I met Tom Wharton, which was, close to 12 years ago, he was such a passionate, visionary lighting guy that we connected immediately. And then I've been following Vode ever since, looking at what they've been doing, their obsession to minimalistic design, their obsession for perfection in what they do, which resonated very, very well with who we are as a group and with my personal values about how we want to approach design. So, Vode is an exceptional brand that fits extremely well within our global strategy at LMPG. So it's a very exciting news for us.
Right, it does seem to fit like a glove, and you have so many great architectural brands already with LMPG. You add Vode to the mix, it's even stronger now. And for those who might be watching and might not recall most of the major moves you've made in the last many years, let's recap some of the highlights. Of course, in Quebec in 2006, you founded Lumenpulse, and then in 2015, after growing Lumenpulse to be quite a large company, you acquired Italian-based Xenia, and then a year later in Canada, you acquired Fluxworks. You made your first US-based acquisition in 2018 with Sternberg Lighting. Last year in 2022, you acquired two companies in Quebec, Peco Lighting, and then also Lumca, which came along with the sister brand Bright Life. Earlier this year in 2023, you acquired ALW, a Northern California company. And now today you're announcing another Northern California acquisition with Vode. Lots of great moves there. And it causes us to, be impressed with what you've done, but also wonder, what are you up to? What is the end game, FX?
So I'm always saying when someone is asking me what's the end game, there's no end game, because life is not a destination, it's a journey. And it's the same thing with a business. It's a journey. As soon as you reach a destination, which I would more call it a milestone, you want to figure out where you're going to go next, right? So the vision is we want it to be a strong, compelling architectural lighting group in North America, but with the ambition of becoming the largest and I would say most exciting architectural lighting group in the world. So the focus now is going to be really to take a pause on the acquisition and really focusing on the 9 brands that we have, in order to allow them to continue to grow, but continue to innovate, to continue to be relevant and challenge the status quo in the market, because we believe that long-term sustainability comes with innovation, and we need to have time to do those things. It's one thing to acquire companies, but it's important to take care of them and make sure they are empowered to continue to innovate. So that's really the focus. And some of those brands are international candidates, and we will invest in really scaling those brands so that they can become global brands. And this is really the objective. I would not call it the end game, but I would say the next evolution in the LMPG strategy.
Great insights there. And at the top of this conversation, FX, we mentioned all the people moves that are happening with this acquisition. And the one kind of surprise, a pleasant surprise out of all this is that Ann Schiffers is coming into the fold. She brings a strong architectural lighting background. Tell us more about all the people moves and how that's going to evolve moving forward.
So I have to say that I have no merit in bringing Ann Schiffers. She was already, approached and identified, by the Vode partner, by Tom and the Vode partner. And it was just such a natural fit when we came in because Anne and I, we get along really well, and she's definitely a known leader in the industry. But she was already in talks. She was already connected to the brand, and it's just that being all together, was more a catalyst, if you will, to really make this, transaction very successful on all fronts. And Tom, Scott, and George will remain active in the company, not only to help Anne succeeding in her role as new CEO of Vode, but they will also assist myself personally on the creative side and many other strategic, aspects of the global LMPG, business. Because by bringing great minds together in the group is allowing us to really raise the bar on what we can achieve. And so I'm really excited to be working with Anne as new CEO of Vode, and I'm really excited to work with the co-founders to really take our group to the next level. So it's exciting times.
So I know just by attending IALD and Lighting Americas over the years that some of those names you just mentioned, they're not just well known in architectural lighting circles, they're like beloved by a lot of architectural lighting people, the design community and others. So congrats on that. And earlier you had mentioned a focus on international. And of course, those that know your company know that Lumenpulse grew a lot in its early years because it was able to do well in North America, but also overseas. So help us understand how Vode and the other brands fit into your international strategy.
So for me, the architectural market has become, a worldwide reality. We're seeing more and more American architectural firms doing business internationally, American lighting designers making work internationally. And it's the same thing if we look at European architects and lighting designers, whether from London, Berlin, or even Paris, doing projects all over the place, including in the United States. So I think that there is, it's very important to us, LMPG, to be the preferred partners for lighting designers and strong architectural firms that are doing cross-border, that are doing international global markets. And we started Lumenpulse, the brand, with this in mind. The first products were designed to be global products. The vision was there right from the beginning. And if you look at other brands like Vode and Fluxworks, for example, both of those brands, already have international DNA embedded into the product design, embedded into the vision, and we really want to take them to the next level and continue to grow. And we're going to continuously investigate which brands are the best candidates for global, expansion, but definitely the focus on Vode and Fluxworks to follow Lumenpulse internationally at this point in time, is going to be generating a lot of opportunities for us and also for our clients, more importantly, for our lighting design community, that they can sleep well of if they work with one of our brands, we're going to be able to support them no matter where they are internationally. So we already have a presence in the UK, we have a presence in France and in many countries in Europe and also in the Middle East and APAC. We're going to be investing furthermore to really support our strategic initiatives and bringing those brands to the next level on a global level.
Very insightful. Makes total sense, especially with Vode and those minimalistic architectural lighting systems that would play very well in international markets as well. And when you consider with all the brands now under the LMPG umbrella, you have 9 brands now, multiple brands in Canada, now multiple brands in the US, but all of them are still maintained a level of autonomy and independence. They're still in separate locations. So what's your strategy there with respect to trying to bring everything together and conglomeratize things, if you will, or leave things kind of independent and autonomous at the brand level?
So it works because, we really focus on keeping decentralize what's important and centralize whatever we can on what's improving the performance of the companies and giving them more financial freedom. But what's really important is product development, sales, marketing, brand awareness, connection to the market. That is important to have autonomy because, business is people. We're dealing with people. Brands are connected to the people. And brands, they have their ecosystem. I even call it they have their fan clubs, if you will. Their fan clubs are being connected to the lighting community in different regions with different group of people. So we don't want to break that. What we want is fuel innovation and nurture entrepreneurial culture. That's the key thing. That's the most important thing. If we keep that for our brands, they're going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to be entrepreneurial. And then obviously we look at, all sorts of potential cooperation that will help the performance of the brands and the group. From a manufacturing standpoint, if we have center of excellence that could be better at certain things, we're always leveraging that. If we have certain markets where we feel it's important to have a global strategy, like Europe, for example, internationally, it makes more sense to be together, the brands, because we bring critical mass and coordination. But Europe doesn't have an agent network like in the US, so that's the reason why. But if you look at North America, the agents are very important. And the agents, they need to trust their commitments with the brands they do business with. And we trust our brands, we trust our agents, and we want to keep that autonomy going. I believe in loyalty, and this is how we're going to continue to grow this business, with loyal relationships. That's the only way to do it.
Well, it's exciting to hear your vision for where you're going, and what you've done is impressive. Our 5 questions is up. I wish we could have a couple bottles of Sonoma Valley wine and continue the conversation, FX, but we seem to be getting together every few months with these conversations. So while I have you right now, though, are there any other lighting acquisitions that you want to announce?
Oh, we're going to definitely pause. We're going to be focusing on really working with our great teams and putting all this, into motion, to really allow them, to focus on what they do best, launching innovative products and solutions. So for now, we're taking a pause.
Well, you certainly have your hands full, and I imagine that the teams are eager to start integrating and moving forward together. You have so much going on, FX. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to share these insights with us, and congratulations to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Al.
Hey there, we really enjoyed that discussion. We hope that you did as well. Be sure to click that big LED logo next to me, and what that'll do is subscribe you to our YouTube channel so you don't miss the next 5 Big Questions interview. And YouTube subscribers always receive an early preview to the next interview before we even post it on the Inside Lighting website. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.